Welcome to the virtual English class. Today we are going to do a lesson from Unit 6 and we are going to do the exercises for writing in this lesson. In the previous lesson we have read about a biography of a person. Do you remember that? Do you remember that person? Yes, he was Dr. Rambaran Yadav, right? Yes, he is one of the famous person in Nepal. And we write biographies about some famous people. Okay, now I'd like you to open your book on page number 56 and have a look at the exercise 8 for writing biographies. There you have some examples. We will read some examples for writing biography, and then we will even look at what is an autobiography and how to write a diary. And then we are going to produce some of the examples of biography and diary. Okay, are you ready, students? Well, then let's start for today's lesson on writing a biography. Let me show you a picture from the previous lesson. Here you have a picture of someone. Do you remember who is this person? Yes, definitely. He is the greatest poet from Nepal. And he is Lakshmi Prasad Devkota. Yes, and the book tells here, the title of the book is The Life of Lakshmi Prasad Devkota. When you have a description about someone's life in a book, what do you call that book? Do you have any idea? Okay, yes, definitely. You can remember the information or the definition of a biography, right? Yes. When there is the facts or the information about someone's life in a book, then we call it a biography. So the facts and the information means the person, where he was born, when he was born, and what did he do or she do, and what is the greatest contribution, and what we can learn from the person. These are the factual information from the person. These information are written in a biography. Okay, students, I think you are clear now, right? So let's have a look at the exercise here. It is exercise 8 from your English book. In this exercise, we are asked to write a biography by reading the examples of biography. And we are also going to write a diary, and we will talk about diaries as well. Let me read the exercise here. You have to look at the example and of a biography and write from that information later. Okay, the information is given in the box like this, and it is developed in a biography writing. So let's have a look at the things that we have to mention in our diary writing. Okay, students? So what you have to first mention is that you have to write the name of the person. Okay, the first thing is you have to write the name of the person, and then the date of birth, place of birth, school attended, job or works, childhood memories, and what the person wanted from the childhood or in the childhood, and interest and hobbies, advice for the young people or other people. Okay, let's now see the information given in your book. In the table, we have the name as Devaki Mahato, and the date of birth is 24th January 1977. And the place of birth is Tari, and school attended, she attended the school Janata Secondary School Nursing Campus, Janata Secondary School and Nursing Campus, Sanepa. And job she did or does is nurse at Patan Hospital. And the memories from childhood is that she brought a wounded crow home but got scolded by her parents, but cared for it till it was able to fly. This is one of the memory from her childhood. And she wanted to join the medical field from her childhood. And her interest and hobbies are collecting bead jewelry. And she advises young people to study what interests you. So what is your interest? That should be studied by you. That is the suggestion. Okay, now let's look at a complete biography about Devaki Mahato from this information. Let me read it for you and you will get the idea. Okay, Devaki Mahato. Devaki Mahato was born on 24th January 1977. The place where she was born is called Tari. It is located 5 kilometers south of the East-West Highway. She went to Janata Secondary School for her initial education. Even when she was a child, she was very interested in caring for other people and animals. Once she brought back a wounded crow to her house. Everyone scolded her, but she took care of it until it flew. Well, students, we find the information about the person, like name of the person here, and date of birth, and the place of birth, and the her study, her school, and we find the interest or her childhood memories here. So these are the information that we get from the first part of the biography. Now let's have a look at the second part. In this part, the text says like this: she always wanted to study medicine after school. Fortunately, she got a scholarship to study nursing at the nursing campus in Sanepa, Lalitpur. She is presently working at Patan Hospital and continuing her dream of caring for sick people. Apart from her job, she also likes bead jewelry and she has quite a collection at her home. She wants the young people to follow whatever they are interested in. Oh, well, students, here, what you find here is that she joined the medicine school and she got a scholarship and she continued her education and she got the job as a nurse in Patan, and she has her interest and hobbies of collecting jewelry. These are the things, and she has the message at the end of this text. Okay, these are the information about Devaki Mahato. Well, this is an example of a biography. Now we can look at or write about someone that we already know by collecting the information. For writing a biography, you need to collect the information about the person. Without information or facts about someone, you cannot write a biography. So, you have to know the person, you have to collect the information, and it is helpful to make a table before you write a biography. For example, we saw before that there were the table mentioning the name, date of birth, place of birth, her childhood memories, and so on. Likewise, you can fill the table with information and then develop it to a biography. Let's read about, or let's have a biography, or let's write a biography about Annie Frank. Do you know who she is? Yes, she is a girl, young girl like you. She was a girl, okay? She is not alive now. She is dead long ago during the Second World War. And we are going to write a short biography about her. Let's find out her information first. Her name is, yes, Annie Frank, and this is her photo. She is your age, right? Okay. Her date of birth was June 12, 1929, and place of birth was Frankfurt, Germany, and she attended school in Amsterdam, and her job or work was as a student. She was a diary writer, and her memory was that she lived in a hiding, Okay, in an attic apartment means under the roof. In a later life, or before she died, she was in hiding. I'll tell about it later, why she was hiding. What the person wanted to be, she probably wanted to be a writer, and her interest was writing and reading. Advice for people, she says, you don't know how great you can be. She shows the potentiality in others or in people. Okay, now let me show you her biography. Here, Anne Frank was born in Frankfurt, Germany on June 12, 1929. Her parents were Edith Hollander Frank and Otto Frank was a rich businessman. In 1935, Anne started school in Amsterdam and was an energetic and popular girl in her school. In January 1933, Adolf Hitler, you might have heard about this person, right? He is the ruler, autocratic ruler from Germany, and he became Chancellor of Germany, and his Nazi government started treating Germany's Jewish citizens very badly. And Anne Frank was one of the Jewish citizens. Okay? The Germans entered World War II on 1st September 1939. In May 1940, Germans captured the Netherlands and quickly made life increasingly dangerous for Jewish people there. Okay? The people who were living in Germany and who were Jewish, they were threatened to life. The Nazis did not like Jewish citizens, so they wanted to kill and take them away from their country. So that was a great threat to her family. So Anne Frank's family went into a hiding in an attic on July 6, 1942. Her family, when they heard that the Germans were going to capture them, and they were hiding in an attic. A small group of Otto Frank's employees. Otto Frank was the father of Anne Frank, and he was a businessman, and his employees, means workers in his company, helped them to give food, provide supplies and news from the outside. And they had to remain quiet during the daytime. They could not go outside because the police or detective could detect them and capture them. Annie passed the time writing a diary. During her hiding, she wrote diaries, and she had received it for her 13th birthday. She had received the diary which she was writing on her 13th birthday, a month before her family went into hiding. That was just a month before. After 2 years, the Franks were discovered and sent to concentration camps. After hiding for 2 years, they, hid under the roof for 2 years. Imagine how long and how they spend their time under a roof in a house. And they spent for 2 years, and they were finally discovered, and they were sent to concentration camp. Concentration camp were the place where Germans used to kill others by giving poisonous gas to the people, okay, millions of people. Only Annie's father survived, and Anne Frank's diary was first published in 1947. It has been translated into almost 70 languages and one of the most widely read accounts of the Holocaust, that disaster, that war, that was described by her diary, and it was very popular, one of the popular books around the world. Okay, these are the information about Anne Frank. And the diary was published in America in 1952. After 1947, it was even published in America, and it became very well known worldwide. And it was sent and sold tens of millions of copies worldwide. Now it is around it is read around the schools, and it is even stays in theaters. Okay, so there is an annex where she wrote it, Annex means the place where she, stayed and wrote the diary. Now it has become a museum, and it reminds her dedication and her, life there, and her diary writing experience there. Okay, so she says in her one of the diaries that everyone has inside of him a piece of good news. The good news is that you don't know how great you can be, how much you can love, what you can accomplish, and what your potential is. She shows or sees the potentiality in everyone, that they can be the greatest people in the world. Okay, now let's move to the next exercise from our book. Okay, here we have information about autobiography. What is the difference between biography and autobiography? We were talking about biography. Now there is an autobiography. Do you know about it? Yes, they are almost similar. They have the similar, factual information about a person, but the writing or the way of writing is a little different. When you write about yourself, about your, achievement, your, experience, or your life from the childhood to, success or failure, then it is your autobiography. When you write about someone else, or for example, about your teacher or someone else, then that becomes a biography. So it is the person who writes it. So autobiography means that is the text information that is written by someone themselves, or the self-written text about themselves. And biography is that when someone or others want to write about someone else. For example, a successful person, right, students? Let me read it to make it even clear. The life story that we write about other people is called a biography. When we write about other people, we call it a biography. But what do we call it if we write a story of our own life? When we write about our own life, then what do we call it? The story about the self is called an autobiography. Now, do you see the difference, students? Yes. Now, definitely you know that. When you write about you, then it's autobiography. When you write about your friend, that becomes a biography. Right, students? Yes. Now, let's read the next paragraph here. We forget many things that happened a long time ago. How are we going to write our autobiography if we forget? Okay, for writing your autobiography, you need to remember different events of your life. But it is impossible to remember all the things, all the events in your life. So how can we remember? Then there is a way that you can do. And there is the best way that you can improve your writing. That is daily writing, okay, daily diary writing. You can write or keep the record of your daily activities. In the diary, we write about what happened throughout the day and how we felt. You write what you did from the morning to the evening and how you felt in that day. So this is called a diary. When you keep writing it and you have enough information, in your later age, when you grow older, you can write about yourself, and that becomes your autobiography. Yes, students, now you are clear about autobiography, biography, and diary, right? Yes. Now let's have a look at the exercise, what we have to do. Here in the exercise B, you are asked to write a diary for one day. You are asked to write a diary. Now you can start from what happened in the morning till the time you were about to go to sleep. Try to make your writing interesting. Okay? So how can you make your writing interesting? You can add your feelings, you can add your knowledge or your experience, you can add your excitement, okay, in your daily writing. Now I'll again show you how Anne Frank wrote in her attic or in her hiding, during her hiding. What was the phase like that she wrote in her diary? I'll show you that, for example, and we will try to write about it. Now this is, for your information, this is the real diary that Anne Frank wrote, and it is kept in a museum. Okay, it is protected here. You can see her handwriting, and this is her picture. Okay, now I'll show you the page that she wrote. Okay, this is the first entry in her diary. Okay, she was writing in her diary that was given to her in her 13th birthday. So she mentions that Sunday, June 14th, 1942. I'll begin from the moment I got you. I got you means I got the diary. The moment I saw you lying on the table. The moment that she saw the diary lying on the table. And among my other birthday presents, she had many other birthday presents, and among them, this diary was one of them. Okay, now she writes her activities or daily, events like this. On Friday, June 12, I was awake at 6 o'clock, which isn't surprising since it was my birthday, but I'm not allowed to get up at that hour. So I had to control my curiosity until 6:45. When I couldn't wait any longer, I went to the dining room where Mose, the cat, welcomed me by rubbing against my legs. A little after 7, I went to Daddy and Mama and then to the living room to open my presents. And you were the first thing I saw. Here, you means the diary. That was the first thing that she saw, and maybe one of my nicest presents. She writes about her diary like this, about the event that she got when she got her present, as her diary as a present. Okay, now next part is, then there are the other description of other presents like bucket of roses, some peonies, potted plant. From Daddy and Mama, I got blue blouse, a game, a bottle of grape juice, which to my mind tastes a bit like wine. After all, wine is made from grapes, a puzzle, a jar of cold cream, to 50 guilders, and gift certificate for 2 books. These are the description of all the presents she got on her birthday. And she even got another book as well, that was Camera Obscura. But Margaret is her sister, already has it. So I exchanged mine for something else, a platter of homemade cookies, which I made myself, of course, since I've become quite an expert at baking cookies. Lots of candy and strawberry tart from Mother. And a letter from Granny, right on time. But of course, that was just a coincidence. Okay, she even got a letter from her grandmother. Okay, these are the events she described. She described when she woke up and what she got, what she experienced, and how she felt, right? So these are the things that we mention in our diary writing. I will explain it later to you. Now, for your reminder, here is the place where Anne Frank was born. This is Frankfurt in Germany, and surrounding other cities are Munich, and there are other countries in Europe like Austria, Switzerland, Netherlands, around here. This is just for your information. Now we are going to continue. We are going to move on to the diary writing activity. Now, actually, we are going to talk about how to write a diary. Let me now explain to you the steps or the things that you need to consider while writing a diary. Well, how to write a diary? When you are going to write a diary, you have to first mention time and address, or your time and date. Time means in what time or o'clock you are going to write, in the evening or It can be early in the evening or late in the evening. Or you can talk about, or you can mention the date. What is the date that you are going to write on? Okay, next thing you are going to think about are the events, right? This is the important thing that you are going to describe. Okay, events means, let me explain to you. Events means maybe this can be a birthday, or it can be a party by someone else, or even it can be an exam in a school. Okay, these are the events. You can describe these events and your feelings about these things. Okay, and another thing that you have to mention is that your feelings, how you felt. You can be sometimes sad, sometimes excited, okay, sometimes happy, okay. So you can express your happiness, okay, or you can express how sad you are and why you are sad. You have to mention the causes of your sadness. Okay, these are the another things that you have to mention here. Another thing that you can mention in your diary is the inspirational thought. Okay, inspirational thought means how you felt or what knowledge you got from the experience. For example, Annie Frank says that everyone can be a great person, but you don't know how great you are. This is an inspirational thought you can write at the end of your diary. Now I'll show you some examples how you can begin. I'll show you two types of beginning. Well, students, first you have to begin with date or time. For example, you can say 7 p.m. in the evening, and you can say 31st Bhadra 2077, and you can address your diary as well, or you can simply start. Okay, you can say, dear diary, and you can explain how you got up or when you got up. I woke up at 6 a.m. at 6 o'clock at 6 o'clock in the morning. When I looked out from the window, it was clear and peaceful morning. Peaceful morning. Okay, it was peaceful morning. Then I cleaned up myself. And started to prepare tea. Okay. You can keep on going what you did throughout the day. Okay? What you have to write or what you have to take care is that you have to write in past tense. You have to write the verb in past form. Like you woke up, I cleaned, I looked out, it was, okay? Because it's past time. You have already passed that activity, and you are going to describe that activity in the past. So you are writing in the past tense. Okay, students? So one of the things that you have to be careful is that your tense. You can even use sometimes simple present tense for when something that is usually or regularly done. For example, I usually go to morning walk, or you can say that I frequently go to morning walk, and today too I went. You can say like that. Okay, so this is one of the way. Another way I'm going to write here is that you can simply write about your feeling like this. I am very happy today. Very happy today. I got a big smartphone as a present from my father. I was dreaming to have such a device for a long time. But I was worried to ask him. It is so nice that he understood my need to have it for my reading and online classes. Okay, students, this is one of the events that you can follow like this. Okay, you can have different such experiences in your life. You can have birthday presents, or you can have surprise so visits by your relatives or your friends, or you can even have your good results from your examinations, and you feel such a happiness or excitement, and then you can record it. Or even sometimes you can be sad when you get, or when you fail your exam, then you can write about it. So this is how you can follow your writing styles. Okay, so this is just the beginning. You can write about your other feelings and your other activities for a day. And daily diary writing does not need to be written in every day. You can write it in some days in a week, and then you need to mention the date for that. For example, if you did not write yesterday, you can say that yesterday I went there and I found my friends, and it was very pleasant moment. And like this, you can explain your daily writing. Well, students, this was for daily diary writing. Now we will move to another exercise from your book. That is a project work given on the exercise 10 of your book. Now, what you have to mention while writing a biography, there is now another activity for writing a biography. Now, we have written a diary. Now, we are going to write a biography from exercise 10. And you have to mention name, place of birth, date of birth, school attended, job, childhood memories, and what the person wanted to be, and interest and hobbies, and advice for young people. Okay, students, let's try to write a biography, how we can write. Now I'll show you the example of information here about Lakshmi Prasad Devkota. All of you know that who he is, right? He is the greatest poet in Nepal. Okay, here are the information about him. He was born on 30 November 1909 or 1966 Kartik 27 BS. Now I'll write from this information. Please read the information here about his address and when he died. Okay, I'll show you how we can begin, and it's the simple description. Okay, how to write a biography. Now I'm going to write an example of a biography about Lakshmi Prasad Devkota. Okay, first we need to mention when he was born. You can say, or you can write the title as Biography of Lakshmi Prasad Devkota. Okay, this is the title, and now we are going to begin the biography writing. You can write like this: Lakshmi Prasad, Lakshmi Prasad. Okay, I'll write here in short form for creating more space. Lakshmi Prasad Devkota was born on 27th Kartik 1966. His parents' name were Tilmadab and Amar Rajalakshmi. Devkota or Devi, yeah. Okay, they were his parents, and he attended Darbar High School in Kathmandu. And he was good at writing poems from his childhood. He could write poems very quickly. He wrote famous epics like Munamadan, Sakuntala, Sulochana, and Kunjini. Well, students, this is how you can go on describing about his experience or his ideas and his contributions, what he has or what he has achieved from writing. Well, students, I have given you quickly an information about biography, and you can write it yourself, and by describing his the address, this birthplace. I have, missed here the address here. You have to mention here. I missed it. I realized it now. You can write the date of birth and address, and then what he did and how he achieved his success, and what are his messages, and you can develop the whole biography of the person. Well, students, now I think you can write about someone else, someone who you know very well. Thank you very much for today's participation in today's lesson. I hope you have got some ideas about autobiography, biography, and diary writing. And please, if you have got your exercise book, and write it, and please show it to your teachers or your family members, so that you can improve your writing even better. Thank you for the patience to watch this video till the end. See you on the next episode. Thank you.